you all understand?
When we arrived in Brazil, the schools were kind of expecting us for the projects. They didn't really know us. So when we arrived, it was a brilliant welcome.
We kind of left our own communities and went to a different community 6,000 miles away, but it felt like we were home after a short time. We were just immersed in Brazilian life.
The building that will be the legacy left there was in one of the poorest neighbourhoods in Curitiba. There was like a slight element of danger, but because we were with respected people within the communities, it made it easier for us to immerse ourselves in the community, and people knew who we were.
I don't think we ever could fathom what it was going to be like. I mean, we read books and we watched kind of YouTube clips before we went. We tried to gauge something about what life was going to be like in Curitiba. But once you're there and you see it firsthand, it blows your mind. There was a storm which flooded a community really badly, and you'd see 8 or 9 year olds mixing their own cement to build their house back, and they were like the perfect example of a community that was stricken with poverty but worked together to help each other. But in terms of the World Cup atmosphere itself, was always pretty special being around a World Cup city. We just didn't get to see a lot of it.
I'm really grateful for everyone that had the opportunity to meet. The kind of World Cup kind of brought everyone together. We were in like a little garage with a tiny TV, which would have been totally like dismissed here in England. When you work in the local community around Newcastle, the way you interact with the children is a lot different. So when we arrived, straight away we were met with respect. Young people would come and introduce themselves to you as you were getting ready to start teaching English with them, or you were really build like a relationship with, because we were the foreign people in their city working with them. After every session they would say goodbye and thank you, which sometimes gets lost here in Britain.
What was the culture shock was going on the outskirts of Curitiba, leaving the city centre and going to the favelas and the dangerous places where our projects were based.
You would hear that there's a little boy, he's 10-year-old, and his father's been murdered. He turns up and he's given a t-shirt, and then he comes and gives you a hug, and it's quite hard to be that person in that situation. But the return to Newcastle it's kind of
cold.
Yeah, it was very cold, but it's really strange because you kind of feel like at home in Brazil. Now I'm back, it's kind of like, how can I continue doing something positive, or how can I make an impact and develop myself, because the opportunity was just, we were able to develop something incredible, and when you come back to doing what you were doing a year ago, it feels like a backward step. I think people could probably do what we did and do it better. We literally had no experience. We utilize social media. Use your skills that you have and just try and bring them together.
Within sport you get a lot of different opportunities. Kind of just be careful about who you choose to do your fundraising with, because you'll be stuck with them for 2 years.